Star Wars Comic Chapter 1. Disclaimer: this is not lore or storyline authentic, it's just for fun. Birth of the Vader clones. Luke Skywalker fell to the floor in such pain. He was gazing at his father's face. It took him a moment to process what just happened. Then he placed his father's body on his ship. Later in the night, he started a fire to cremate his father. Luke said his goodbyes and walked back to his ship. During this time, two mysterious people in hoods were waiting in the darkness of the woods to retrieve the body of Darth Vader. The body was still searing. They carried his remains to their ship as fast as they could. They fled at maximum speed to the planet Camino. When they arrived, they were greeted by a small droid. The droid said, "Beep boop eruda. Welcome. Right this way, Master Phaedon." Master Phaedon's skin looked green and sinister. He has a creepy scar on both his eyelids. The droid leads the way to an underwater secret base. Inside was a Kaminoan, also wearing a hood. He was sitting on the chair with one leg crossed over the other. Another Kaminoan, who seemed to be his secretary, was standing next to him. The Secretariat said, "The external clone machine should be ready for Darth Vader's body." They are led through a corridor by the droid. Soon enough, they reached the cloning bay. Darth Vader's body was placed out of a coffin-shaped container made out of carbonite. He was transferred to a cloning machine filled with green liquid and tubes from the back of his body. It was mashed up and misshapen, not much to be seen of his flesh. Master Phaedon said, "Begin the cloning process immediately." The machine started producing fluid from the tube connected to Anakin Skywalker's head. After 5 minutes, a blue liquid oozed out from Vader's neck and into a cylinder. The pod was attached to his chest. The assistant said, "We have completed 2 full sensitive clones in the past, but it took years to get the first successful clone with force sensitivity." Master Phaedon became red with anger. "You will produce me a force-sensitive clone within a year, or I will end what is left of your pathetic planet," he declared. He snarled at them. The assistant looked down at the ground. "Yes, Master, please forgive us." They went inside the pod and began the process. After about 3 hours, the machine finished its processing and the liquid. The assistant stated, "To speed up the process, we will have to engineer a chip with his memories stored in his brain. We will be able to make around 10 clones. Hopefully get one with force powers. What should we do with any clones that don't have force capability?" Master Phaedon replied, "Kill them. I only want the power of the force, otherwise they are useless to me. I will return when they show force powers." 1 year later, 10 little clone infants floating unconscious in the clone tubes. The assistant said, "It's time to wake them up. Ready, 3, 2, 1, go." Goo started oozing from the machine tubes all at once, and slimy little bodies slid from underneath. When they reached 5 years old, they was tested for force powers, a physics test and moving objects with force, but only 1 clone passed. He passed with ease. After the test, the other 7 boys were sent away by a droid. "Well done, children, follow me." He takes them to an empty room. The door locked behind them, and the droid blasted the boys dead. Until the last child remained, his face was filled with terror. When the droid shot him in the arm, the boy screamed out, "Ah!" The next shot jammed his blaster. Click, click. The droid started fixing the jam. Then the boy raised his hand with intense anger, and the droid's blaster and arm levitated over the ground. He crushed the droid to a small lump of metal. He looks around at his clone brothers and collapsed on the floor, crying. Chapter 2. To the Divide. He woke the next morning in complete shock and fear. As he stood at the window looking at space going past so slowly,